Okay, good morning, learners. I am Leah Nyambura. I am a teacher of English. I teach in Kigumo Secondary School. Kigumo is in Kiabu County, Githuguri Sub-County. I welcome you on board, and I hope you are keeping it safe by following all the directive from the ministry. And I want to, us to start a lesson on English. I start with the date for today. 26th of April. Our topic will be grammar. Our subtopic will be adverbs. Okay. As we all know, words are classified into various groups. Words in English are classified into various groups. These groups are the ones that we call the 8 parts of speech. And briefly, I'm going to list them down, the 8 parts of speech, of which every learner should have to know. We have got the nouns. We also have the verbs. We also have the adverbs. We also have the adjectives. We also have the conjunctions. We also have prepositions. We have interjections. And we also have the pronouns. Those are the 8 parts of speeches in which English words are classified into. And our concern today will be adverbs. Okay, we start by asking ourselves a question. What are adverbs? I'll start by giving a definition of what adverbs are. And adverbs are words. Let me write down the definition. Adverbs, they are words that describe or modify verbs, or they also modify adjectives, and they also modify other adverbs. And what is to modify? What is to modify? For us to get the clear meaning. To modify is either to add meaning or give clarification. To modify is to add meaning or give clarification. I'm briefly going to give 3 examples. The first example will be an adverb describing a verb. The other one will be an adverb describing an adjective. And the other one will be an adverb describing another adverb. Let us look at the following examples. The example number 1, example in sentence. He cried bitterly. Cried is our verb. Bitterly is an adverb. And it's telling us about how this person cried. Let me give another example, number 2, where an adverb is modifying an adjective. The soup was too salty. The soup was too salty. Our adverb. Then salty is our adjective. Then example number 3, where an adverb is modifying another adverb. An example of a sentence. The show ended too quickly. Too is an adverb modifying another adverb. Good. Then there is something else I want us to note on adverbs. And before we go to that, let us look at the principal function of these adverbs. We can say that the principal function, yes, we have said that they modify verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. But the principal one, the principal function is adverbs. Adverbs modify verbs, and in modifying the verbs, they tell us how an action is done. They also tell us when an action is done. They also tell us where the action is done. They also tell us how often the action is done. They also tell us, give us the degree or the intensity. The intensity or the degree into which an action is done. Therefore, I want us to look at different kinds of adverbs. Different kinds of adverbs. The different kinds of adverbs, or we can call them the types. We can call them the types of adverbs. We are going to look at 5 of them. We are going to look at 5 types of adverbs. Since we have already said that adverbs tell us how something is done, therefore we come up with a type of adverb we call the adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner. Since we have already said that adverbs will always tell us when the action took place, we come up with the adverbs of time. We have already said that they also tell us where an action took place, therefore we come up with the adverbs of place. We have said that they tell us how often something happens, therefore we come up with adverb of frequency. We have we have also said that they tell us the degree or the intensity of something. And in this, we come up with another kind or another category we call the adverbs of degree. The adverbs of degree. Those are the 5 kinds or the 5 types of adverbs we have. Then we are going to start with the first one, the adverbs of manner. We start with the adverbs of manner. And what do we say about this one? The adverbs of manner, they try to answer a certain question. Which question is this? They tell us, they try to answer the question, how. Therefore, we can say the adverbs of manner. The adverbs of manner answer the question how. They tell us how the action was done. Then you're going to agree with me that many of the adverbs end in ly. We have a word here, then it ends in ly, but not all of them, not all the words that end in ly are adverbs. For example, a word like, let me use this part, a word like family, it ends in ly, but it's not an adverb. A word like multiply ends in ly, but it's not an adverb. A word like family, multiply, a word like ugly also ends in ly, but it's not an adverb. This is a noun, multiply is a verb, ugly is an adjective. Therefore, when we come to the adverbs of manner, I've said that they answer the question how, so therefore they tell us how an action was done. In this, I can try by giving one verb, cry. I can use several words to describe or to say how a person cried. A person can cry bitterly, telling us the manner in which the person cried. A person can also cry continually. A person can cry softly. A person can cry profusely. A person can cry inconsolably. Therefore, all these words, they are adverbs. They are adverbs modifying the verb cry. They are telling us how the person cried. They are telling us how. Therefore, they are answering the question how. We are going to look at examples in sentences. Examples in sentences. And in these sentences, we are going to be asking ourselves this question, how? Look at the following examples. We arrived in Mombasa safely. We can ask ourselves, how did we arrive in Mombasa? We arrived safely, therefore Mombasa, safely is the adverbs telling us how we arrived in Mombasa. The students left the room quietly, an adverb that is explaining how the student left the room. We can also say that he drove carelessly. He drove carelessly. Carelessly is our adverb trying to tell us how this person drove. Then we can say that Jane spoke softly. Softly is our adverb that is trying to modify the verb or telling us more about how Jane spoke. We are moving on. Then we can go to the second category of the verbs. But before we go to the adverbs of time, I have got a chart here trying to show and even having few examples of adverbs. We have got them, the adverbs, the ones that I've named, those of manner, of place, of time, of frequency, and those one of degree. I have started with the adverbs of manner, and I've said that they try to answer the question, how? And it's the one that I've already explained, and I've come up with these few sentences explaining how an action took place. And in this, I have got examples of words that you can use to describe how an action took place. And wherever you are watching me from, you can take these examples and try to construct your own sentences focusing on the adverbs of manner. We have the word happily. We also have the word secretly. We have the word slowly. We have the word stupidly. We have the adverb quickly. We also have an adverb angrily. We also have the adverb greedily. We also have the adverb hurriedly. We also have the adverb beautifully. Therefore, you can use those words and construct your own sentences to check whether you have grasped on the adverbs of manner. Secondly, I'm going to the adverbs of place. Adverbs of place. And what do we say on adverbs of place? We can say that adverbs of place, they are adverbs that tell us where an action took place And in these ones, they try to answer the question, where? They try to answer the question, where? They are the ones that will tell us where an action took place. Let us look at examples in sentences. Look at examples in sentences. My uncle live abroad. My uncle live abroad. Joanne has gone upstairs. I live near. I live near. My uncle lives abroad. Joanne has gone upstairs. I live near. Here comes my father. Here comes my father. Go out. Let us look at the example number 1. My uncle lives abroad. Abroad is our adverb of place, trying to answer the question, where my uncle lives. Joanne has gone upstairs. Upstairs is our adverb, trying to answer the question where Joanne has gone. I live near is our adverb, trying to answer where I live. Then here comes my father. Here is our adverb of place, trying to explain that my father is here. Go out. Out is the adverb of place, trying to explain the question where. Trying to explain the question where. Then on my chart, I have now the adverbs of place. And I've clearly outlined that they answer the question where. And whatever you are watching, you can use the following examples. Construct your own sentences to see whether you have understood on the adverbs of place. We have the word indoors. We have the word far. We have the word backwards. We have the word abroad, which we have already used. We also have the word above. We have the adverb near. We also have the adverb outside. We also have the adverb downstairs. We also have elsewhere. And lastly, we have far. Try to construct your own sentences using those adverbs to check whether you have understood. Then third, we go to the kind of adverbs that we are calling the adverbs of time. The adverbs of time. And we start by saying that these adverbs of time, they tell us where when the action took place. The adverbs of time tell us when the action took place. Therefore, what question do they answer? They answer the question when. They answer the question when. We are going to look at examples in sentences. Examples in sentences. Let's look at the following examples in sentences. My father will leave tomorrow. The bus is coming late. He left immediately. She will visit us soon. I am going to clean my room now. Yes, let us look at the following examples. We are saying that adverbs of time will always tell us when the action took place, and therefore they are going to answer the question when. In the following sentences, my father will leave tomorrow. We can ask we can ask the question when. When will my father leave? Tomorrow. Therefore, tomorrow becomes our adverb of time. The bus is coming late. When is the bus coming? Late. Therefore, our adverb of time there is late. He left immediately. When did he leave? He left immediately. Therefore, immediately becomes our adverb of time. She will visit us soon. When will she visit us? Soon. Therefore, soon becomes our adverb of time. I am going to clean my room now. When am I going to clean my room? Now. Therefore, now is our adverb of time. It's our adverb of time. And from my chart, I have got highlighted some few examples. There are so many, but I've just come up with few of them, of which you can try and construct some sentences. When we look at the adverb of time, we are saying they answer the question when. We look at examples. The first example is today, tomorrow, then, later, soon, now, tonight, yesterday, and so many. Those are the few examples of the adverbs of time. They are the few examples of the adverbs of time. I want us to move next to the adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency. The adverbs of frequency. And this one, try to answer the question, how often? The adverbs of frequency, they tell us how often the action takes place, and therefore they answer the question. They try to answer the question, how often. We are going to look at examples in sentences. Examples in sentences. Examples in sentences using the adverbs of frequency. I always wake up at 6 in the morning. I never listen to reggae music. The boys usually go for swimming. I seldom go to the beach. Sometimes I spend time alone on Sundays. Yes, let us look at the examples in sentences. And we are focusing on the adverbs of frequency. The example number 1, I always wake up at 6 in the morning. How often? Always. I do it always. Therefore, always becomes our adverb of frequency. I never listen to reggae music. How often do I do that? I never. Therefore, never becomes our adverb of frequency. The boys usually go for swimming. How often? Usually, adverb of frequency. I seldom go to the beach. How often do I go to the beach? Seldom. Therefore, this is our adverb of frequency. Sometimes I spend time alone on Sundays. How often do I do this? Sometimes. Therefore, sometimes becomes our adverb of frequency. It becomes our adverbs of frequency. We go to the, before we go to that, on the chart, and I want you, from wherever you are watching, kindly make use of these examples by constructing your own examples, your own sentences. We have the adverbs of frequency, and we have said that they answer the question, how often an action takes place. And we have these examples, always, which we have already used. Generally, occasionally, regularly, sometimes, usually, never, ever. Those are the few examples of adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency. Lastly, we are going to the to the only left category, or the kind of adverbs of degree. It's the last one, the adverbs of degree. The adverbs of degree. And when we are talking of adverbs of degree, these ones, they show us to what extent, or the intensity of something. They tell us about the intensity of something. And this one, they answer the question, to how, to which extent. they try to answer the question, to what extent something happens. Let us look at the examples in sentences. Examples in sentences. I totally agree with you. The hungry boy ate so quickly. You are trying to give us the extent to what an action took place. He was extremely tired. The movie is quite boring. And lastly, he was really excited. We have the adverbs of we have the adverbs that are trying to give us the extent to which something is. I totally agree with you. Totally is our adverb of degree. The hungry boy ate so quickly. To what extent? So quickly. And I hope you have noted that so is an adverb of degree. Quickly is also another adverb. Therefore, it's an adverb modifying another adverb. He was extremely tired. To what extent? To the extreme. Adverbs, extremely is an adverb of degree. Then the movie is, to what extent is that movie? Quite boring. Therefore, quite is our adverb of degree. Then we have the he was really excited. To what extent? Really. Therefore, this one becomes our adverb of degree. And in this, we are going to look at our chart. And from our chart, we are going to say that you are going to make examples using these words. We have got the adverbs of degree, of which we have said that they are answering the question to what extent something is or action is taking place. The first one is extremely, rather, quite, fairly, very, to, quite, really, partly. However you are watching, just take a few examples from that and construct your own sentences. Those are the 5 types or kinds of adverbs. And I want to give you very few questions, allowed 3. You can write them down. Then you can say what they are or what question do they answer. Yes, to check whether you have understood, let us look at the following questions. Number 1, the police are everywhere. The police are everywhere. Kindly highlight or underline the, the adverb in that question. Then you indicate what it is. You should handle these more carefully. You should handle this more carefully. Then another sentence. She has almost finished. Wasted time is never recovered. And the last one, the visitors will arrive today. From those given sentences, you can underline the adverb. Then you tell us the kind of adverb it is. And in that, we come to the end of our lesson today. And I hope you can be able to construct your own sentences using all those adverbs, together with answering the questions correctly. And with that, we come to the end of our lesson today. See you again. Thank you.